Flex up, lower. Flex up,
Testing.
lower.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, Sue, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
That's a good sign. It's Mark's there and someone else just showed up. Anne is there. Wow. Nice. Where's Princess? Hello. Good morning. How to get yourself in trouble with one word. Princess. Well, good morning, everybody. Hope your Sunday is off to a great start. We're going to hopefully add to that great beginning as we begin to think about getting started. Okay, all right. To get started today, we're going to come to the center parts of our mat and spread our feet out to the width, or the width of the mat. We're going to turn our toes to turn in towards the middle line of the mat and straighten out the legs. I'd like you to try to post the heels, and it's kind of a difficult thing to do with this inward rotation, but I'd like you to try to take your heels and push them back diagonally, and it's going to create a small activation on the upper part of the leg. At the same time, I'd like you to create an internal rotation of the toes. I'd like you to kind of push with the heels and rotate internally so we feel a lot of the muscle in and around our hips. I'm sorry, our microphone holding thing broke, so get a little off track there. So we're going to create two rotational efforts, the external rotation of the heels and the internal rotation of the ball of each big toe. How's that for saying it right? Now, while we keep that, I'd like you to grow the body tall, pull in the belly, crowd out the chest, let the arms fall, take a big inhale and sweep the arms up to the sky. Now, we're going to change the focus here. I'd like you to relax the legs, use the fingers now to pull the arm and shoulder carriage high up to the sky. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale it, step the toes forward and fold all the way down. All right. Pedicure check time. As you evaluate what's going on with those toes of yours, I'd like you to take a big inhale and extend the back. Push the legs straight. Almost lock out through the knees and then draw your butt backwards. Feel that nice lengthening to the hamstrings. A little bit to the low back. Let the upper body fold a little deeper. Spine flex, just let it hang out. Take another breath, and as you do, inhale and extend to a flat back. And then let's bend both knees, sweep the hands directly forward, stand all the way up and reach for the sky. Take another big breath in, and as you exhale, bring hands over heart and take your right foot, step it forward to the front corner of the mat. So we have a slightly wide stance. Find your balance on the back foot. I'd like you to keep the heel positioned towards the floor, on the floor if it's possible. If it's not, just give me your best effort. And then straighten out that front leg and fold over it. So the upper body is remaining nice and long. I like to try to keep that nice extension through the upper body. And then fold a little deeper and then rise back up. So with hands over heart, we're basically just going to create a folding over and rising back up. And let's do that a couple more times. Slow control is what you're looking for in terms of speed. On the next evolution, hold down. Take your hands, extend them straight forward. And then raise the arms ever so slightly. And then return hands back over heart and use that front foot to push off and step back to the wide stance we have in the mat. Take the opposite foot, post it to the top left corner. Drive that right heel to the earth. Keep it down, keep it connected, or keep it actively working towards the earth. As you straighten the front leg, let's begin our fold down on it. And then rising back up. Maintaining the control of balance, the shift to left to right may be more prevalent on one side than the other, but I want you to control both sides equally, right? So on this side, if that's your unstable side, try to keep the upper body in check. Folding down slowly. Keeping back extended. Coming back up. Folding back down, this time holding, extending the arms out. Raising the arms a little higher if you can. Returning hands back over hard, pushing from front to back. Maintaining that nice wide stance. All right, feel some warmth building in the body. Hopefully you feel the same. Now, keep the legs straight, pull your butt back, fold halfway forward. And then come back up. And let's do that a few more times. We're going to begin to progress this movement, slowly moving between the 2 points, drawing the hips backwards as you begin your upper body descent, pushing the hips forward when you rise up. Now, to protect the low back, you've got to really engage those six-pack muscles. Fold forward, butt pulls back. Rising up, engaging six-pack, hips push forward. You feel a nice little pull or a little tension over those hips. Coming back up, engaging strongly. Now, the progression. Here we go. Hold down. We're in tabletop position with the upper body. I'd like you to take your hands, release them from each other, and then bring them shoulder width apart. Let's make two fists, and then we're going to pull the elbows back and up so we have elbows higher than the level of the back. Remember, we're in a tabletop position, elbows higher than back. We're going to keep the elbows back as we rise back up, and welcome to our first good morning. Now, just hold up for 1 second, take your elbows, pull them together so the chest is crowding out, and then pull back the hips, fold forward. Rising up, keep those elbows squeezing together, engage those abs, and do that a few more times. See if the range of motion can be increased. See if you can get a little deeper down towards those legs. Spine extends as you rise up, engage those abs, push those hips forward, and pull it down one more time. But this time, take it all the way down. Let your fingertips ride down to the earth. If you inhale, extend to a flat back. As you exhale, pull back down. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull. Inhale, extend, hold. Straighten the legs a little more if you can. Draw that booty back and as much weight bearing to the heels. Walk the hands forward. Take a big inhale. Exhale, let the upper body just fold down. Hang out for a couple breaths. To inhale, extend to a flat back. Let's bend both knees. Keep the fingertips touch upon the earth, kind of like a football player in a football stance. See if you can get that butt down lower than the height of the shoulders. Now, as you raise the shoulders up, bring hands over heart, stand tall, and squat it back down. So we're just going to rotate, try to alternate between the low and high position. Although our bodies can't go any higher, they can always try to go a little lower. So if you can, sink to new lows today. See if you can do it. Try to get down a little deeper. Control the plane of movement of the knees. Make sure you're not buckling in or spreading out. Rising up slowly. Lowering down slowly. Enjoying the journey both ways. Now, when you arrive at your bottom position, I'd like you to bounce a little bit while you hold down. Prodding out the chest, keeping those hands over the heart. And then I'd like you to kind of explode up fast. And then lower back down and bounce. See if, while you're bouncing, if you can get a little deeper into this pose and strongly up and slowly back down. Bounce. See if you can get a little more depth. A little more. Just try it. And then up, hold, hands shoot to the sky, big inhale. Exhale, forward fold all the way. Take it down to the mat. Heading down for the 8 count. A little boxing reference there. Not that I'm an old boxer. The closest I ever get to a box is Christmas time. Boxing sound. All right, now, Mark obviously does not understand that, but I'm sure Sue Ann kind of picked up. Now,
pelvic rotation. I've stepped my feet in. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to have the feet about the width of the mat. And I'm going to ask you to kind of roll up onto your tailbone. So this is the interior rotation of the pelvic girdle. Excuse me. We're going to posteriorly rotate or rotate so that the pubis area is pulling up towards the sky. And again, this is always met by the skin of the lower back, the sensation on it. We're going to try and get as much of that tissue connected to the mat. And when you find that spot, as best you can, I'd like you to hold on it by engaging your six-pack muscle. You're going to take your chin, drop it into your chest, take your hands, extend them forward, and we're going to slowly peel vertebrae by vertebrae, the spinal column up, off, just so the fingertips push past the knees, and then lower back down. So this is like a crunch. Take the head all the way back to resting position, back of head touching the mat. I'm going to just keep my hands aiming up the sky until I'm ready. Again, I'm going to pelvically rotate posteriorly, trying to get that low back skin connected. Six-pack engages. Arms begin to descend between the legs as I peel up vertebrae by vertebrae, just so the fingertips pass the knees or get as close to it as they can, and then lower back down. You've got the movement pattern now. Let's continue on it. Exhaling as you come up. Inhaling as you come down. Let's focus on nice, strong contraction, nice, strong movement, slow, methodical, purposeful, coming back up, holding up this time. Now, see if you can get a fraction higher, and then a fraction higher, and then release. And then bring your legs up and into the air. A little bit of focus on our abs right now, our six-pack muscle in particular. Straighten out the legs, drive the heels to the sky. You can just feel those quads, those strong quads of yours engage. As you hold that, I'd like you to kind of rotate your pelvic girdle again and try to lift the heels to the height of the sky. So your low back, pronounced in its weight bearing, the tailbone, which have very little weight in it. If it's off the mat, awesome. If you can't get there, keep trying, and then lower back down so the tailbone rests once again. Let the feet sweep slightly forward the hips, and then bring the feet back up over the hips and peel the bottom, the lower back up off the mat. And then lower back down, extend the legs, keep them straight, bring them a few degrees past the hips, and then do it one more time. Push those heels up and into the sky, hold up, drop your chin into your chest, bring your hands up towards your feet, and then reach up and try and touch your toes. And then lower down, keep the legs in position, head returns back to the earth, and then chin drops, and then reach up, push the heels high, try to reach for those toes, and then relax it down, let the feet lower, connect the bottoms, and let the sides of the feet hit your mats, centering them on the body, so each foot, meaning that center line, splay open the legs, and enjoy a nice stretch. Take your hands, reach into the sky. Now, chin drops into the chest. Hands start to descend towards the feet. We're going to start to crunch up. I'm going to hold and then lower back down. And repeat this movement with the legs splayed open, trying to achieve just these fractional increases as best you can. Inhaling as you lower, exhaling as you come up. Exhale, up. Inhale, lower. Do it a couple more times. Let's try to prevent those legs from rotating internally. Keep the external rotation. Coming up, holding up. See if you can get a fraction more. And then lowering back down, separating the feet hip width apart. And enjoying a nice stretch now by extending the legs all the way out as we extend the arms all the way back and enjoy the pull between the 2 points. Fingertips pulling one direction, toes pulling the opposite. The belly just kind of hollow out. Actively now pull the belly button in towards the spine. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, relax. Step your feet in just a fraction, and I mean few inches. So we're going into an exercise that you're well familiar with. Kirsten refers to it as Sean's exercise. It's not really mine, but I'll take credit for it. Now with feet a little wider than hip width apart today, we're going to rotate the thighs into touch and the toes might come along. My feet are wide enough apart where the toes aren't touching. And if yours are, maybe step about just a little wider. I'm just going to increasing the angle here. We're going to flex your feet. Flexion is just simply pulling the top of the foot towards the shin. Now squeeze the legs and begin to lower the arms beside the body. Let's proud out the chest. Let's make sure your shoulder blades are nice and flat to the earth. Legs continue to squeeze, and then we're going to try to elevate your butt up off the earth as you focus internal, squeezing the legs. We're going to try to elevate higher. That little tailbone of ours, a little higher, and then release down, extend the legs back all the way out, and then step them back in again. Let's bring the stance a little closer this time. So as we rotate the thighs to touch, the toes should also touch at this time. Let's flex the feet, arms drop down beside. We're going to maintain this pelvic rotation backward to get as much of your low back skin at a contact point with the mat. It may not all go there. It's not about that. It's just the effort of trying to do that. That's that posterior rotation of the pelvic girdle. It's just I want you to exercise that right now as we begin to push heels into earth and squeeze thighs to elevate and basically lift tailbone up off the earth. Relax through the neck. The tension here is in the muscles in and around the hips, in the middle part of our legs, the thighs, the inner parts pushing high, and then lowering down, extending out, point the toes, sweep the arms back, stretch between the 2 points, pulling fingers and toes opposite. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, flex the feet, keep the legs straight. We're coming up Pilates style, ladies and gentlemen. So chin drops into chest, hands reach forward, and vertebrae by vertebrae, peel up and dive down those fingers, extending past the feet if you're able to. Thoracic mobility. That's the upper spine. It's above your low back and below your neck. It's one of the issues that most people experience from a lot of sedentary behavior. So we're just going to hang out here and enjoy this. In today's work, we're going to work on that. Now, as you inhale, extend to a flat back and come into staff pose. Nice. Now, take a big breath in, and as you exhale, bring hands over heart. On the next breath, push the hands to the sky. Proud out the chest. And then lower the hands, shoulder height, and let the upper body just kind of collapse. So I like you to roll down onto your tailbone, almost like you're doing a Pilates style sit-up in reverse. But before you go down all the way, hold up about half the way. So your upper body's like at a 45-degree angle with a big bend in your back. Now, reach the hands forward. Give me a little more spinal flexion. And now proud out the chest as you sit up and sweep the hands up to the sky. As you exhale, lower the hands shoulder height and come back to the position we just started from. Lots of flexion. Reach forward the hands, really trying to hyperextend that back. Hyperflex, I mean. And as you inhale, proud it out, sweep them high. And let's do that a couple more times. Keep those feet flexed, lower down. Let that back go into as much flexion as you can muster. Inhale, proud, extend up. Exhale, round, flex, super flexion. Inhale, come back up, reach for the sky. As you exhale, fold forward. Let the upper body just find its spot. While you're here, let's take your hands, if you can reach down to the underside, the bottoms of your feet. I've got my thumbs on the earth, so my palms are able to reach and wrap the feet. Now, as you inhale, we're going to extend. And with the assistance of the arms, I'd like you to just give me a gentle pull. Now, this is to help, not hurt. So we want to feel just a nicer pull and extension through those upper back leg muscles, hamstrings. Pulling as you inhale, crowding out the chest. Using the arms just for assistance, just to trigger a little more release. On your next breath, fold it down, let that upper back just flex and hang out. Now I'm going to step my hands to the outside of the feet. So I'm wrapping the heels once again. As you inhale, extend the spine. As you exhale, this time see if you can use the arms to help fold a little deeper into those legs. And as you breathe in again, come back into staff pose. Bring hands over heart. And Pilates style. Here we go, folks. Take it down. So just that Pilates style setup in itself is a lot of spinal flexion and extension. So it's always a great exercise to do, if and when you just feel bored and have nothing else to do. Now, like, step our feet in. I'd like you to plant both of them to the widths of the mat, so the sides of the feet and the width of the mat are about the same. We're going to take your pelvic girdle, and we practice that kind of tucking behavior, if you will. We get that low back skin connected to the earth, or our mats, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to ask you now to, with the feet remaining on the floor, to rotate in the thighs so that they have a nice connection. And we're going to keep that low back skin sensation best we can as we begin to squeeze the thighs. Now we're going to work two motions here. The internal motion, the legs squeezing together, those thighs strongly pushing into each other. And then we're going to externally rotate, like you're kind of rolling over on your ankle. So I like you to garner as much of that as you can. Hollow out the belly, hold on to that. Keep that belly hollowing out. Reach your hands to the sky. Chin drops into chest, and we're going to begin to raise up vertebrae by vertebrae. You're going to feel a nice, strong activation in that six-pack muscle, but more so. Thighs squeezing together, feet rolling externally, and then lower back down. And we're going to do this one more time because we love that sensation. Right now, pulling back up, chin dropping to chest, crunch, 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 and release down. Legs extend all the way out. Hands sweep overhead. Fingers and toes pull opposite direction. Feel the long length of that front body system of muscles. Fill those lungs with air. And as you exhale, relax the body, roll it onto your left side. And while we're here, let's enjoy a nice little inner thigh muscle exercise. I'm going to post my right leg in and around my knee, a little higher up in the thigh. It's possible to do that. Some of us have joint mobility issues with the hips. Whatever is allowed by your body. I'd like you to try to achieve it. Now, you can see my hip angled open. I'd like you to roll up so that the top of the hip is aiming up towards the sky. You might need to step your foot around a little bit to accomplish that. But once you get there, I'd like you to take the left heel, push it away from the body. You're going to feel those inner thigh muscles, that left leg, start to activate, and maybe up onto that left hip. You can feel a little bit of oblique action. Now, we're going to connect left and right side by trying to lift the left leg up off the earth. And if you felt your right side oblique area start to fire up, perfect. Lower the leg down, relax, push the heel out, lift the foot back up, and then lower down. You can kind of see how both sides of the body are integrated together here. So lower, raise, lower, raise. Try to keep the knee from bending. Try to keep that leg extending strongly out from the body. And this time, as you hold up, count 3 counts. Not that I like counting, but just to keep an idea, some reference. And then lower back down
Extend the right leg back out. Switch over to the opposite side. Smoothly. Left foot plants, right leg extends. We have this nice solid elevation in the upper body. Some of us like to do this lying down on the side. If you can, try to elevate onto your elbow. Didn't mention that last time, but if you can do it this time, you'll notice a difference. As the right heel drives out, we're going to lift the right foot up off the earth and then lower back down. Same thing, we're doing opposite side. Raising as you inhale, exhaling, lower. Do it a couple more times. This time holding up, trying to keep the elevation up off the earth, building a little endurance here. On your next breath, release that leg down. Roll onto your tummy this time. So we are in a low plank position. Almost. It's like baby cobra if you'd like. So pubis, forearms, toes tucked under. We're going to make the neck nice and long. And then we're going to take our belly button and pull it up and into the spine. And while we keep that activation, I'd like you to proud out the chest and grow the head just a little more if you can. Now, while you keep that nice spinal extension, I'd like you to take the knees and let them be the resting spot as your hips pull up and into the sky. Now, thoracic mobility. Here we go. Imagine now you've got a string tied to the center part of your spine. I'd like you to pull that string high to the sky. Let the head dangle down. Carve out those belly button muscles. Get them active, like someone's about to punch you in the belly. And then try to lift that spine just a little higher. And then relax it all down. Keep the face aiming at the earth, but off the earth. So the nose is just barely touching, if you will, with the toes remaining tucked. Come back up onto the forearms. Pubis area is still down. Hollow out the belly. Start pulling that belly button up and into the spine. Now let's take your knees and begin to push them into the earth, raising the hips to the sky, trying to pull the center line of the back higher to the sky. Six-pack muscles are fired up. Squeeze them, pull higher the center part of the spine. Take a big breath, release it all down. Keep the nose hovering just above your mat. All right. What do you say? One more? Are you having enough fun? Let's do it one more time. Raise the shoulders, up onto the forearms. Six-pack engaged. Hips raise up. Center of back, pulling to the sky. Fire up those six-pack muscles. Oh, like you're gonna get punched in the belly. Fire them strong. Take the knees up off the earth this time. Pull the knees up, extend the spine straight. Now, pull that string, flex the back, extend the back straight. Pull the spine to the sky. Extend. So we're still using those six-pack muscles when that spine pulls to the sky. Extend the spine straight, lower down onto your knees, walk your hands back, and take it to child's pose. And switch around exactly. Now, in child's pose, I'd like you to take the tops of your feet onto the mat. Spread your knees to the width of the mat. And then grip backwards the hips when you're ready. And just hang out for a couple breaths. All right, let's come back up onto the knees. I'm going to tuck our toes under as we separate knees and toes to the width of the mat. We're going to do the same with the hands. And we're going to begin our cat-cow series. So I'd like you to let the head droop down. Let it relax, just kind of shake it out. Kind of like a goldfish in a bag, you know how he just dangles there. All right, so I want you to do that with your head and take the center of the spine and begin to pull it
towards the sky. Push with the arms and give me as much spinal flexion as you can muster. Now, let the chest drop in between the arms. Take the tailbone and open it to the sky along with the head and pull both ends. So the tailbone and the back of the head pulling to the sky, hollow out the belly button, pulling it up and into the spine. If you feel muscle in and around that low back starting to activate, that's your transverse abdominis, that's good. I want you to keep that active as we go back into spinal flexion. The pubis area is tucking under, the head is falling towards the earth. That imaginary string is pulling that center spine to the sky. Fill the lungs, and as you exhale it, push the chest to the earth. Back ahead and tailbone pull to the sky. Pull the belly button up and into the body. Hold on that. Shift your body weight to the right. And then shift it center and left. And take the opportunity just to go side to side. And then when you're ready, come back into quadruped on all fours. We're going to take the knees up and off the earth. And now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to let the head fall. Pull the center of the spine to the sky. And give me as much spinal flexion as possible. And then extend the spine. Keep the knees up. Pull the belly button up and into that spine of yours. Flex that spine, let the head fall, tuck under the tailbone. And then extend. And one more time, and I promise you are getting off these wrists. Pull the spine to the sky. Oh, exhale, lower the knees. Walk the hands back towards the body. Come into a kneeling position. Did you miss me? I'm back. Now, nice width. Feet and knees. Take the hips, push them forward. If you need cushioning for the knees, grab your towel, put it there. Yeah.
You're sharing.
I'm sharing. Now, I'd like you to take an opportunity to push with the hips. Feel a little bit of tension through the hip flexors. Now, I'm going to grow on a diagonal backwards. Feel a deeper release over those hip flexor muscles, bringing hands over heart. Nice. Now grow the spine, look towards the sky. Try to pull the spinal column along by pulling with the head, and then pull the shoulders up towards the ears. Proud out the chest. Keep that six-pack active. Take a big inhale as you exhale, extend the arms out. The height to which you want is the overload that you're willing to take on right now. So lower down, less stressful, higher up, more stressful. Find your level of stress. Take a big breath as you exhale it, pull your butt back. Hands descend back to the mat. Cat, cow, walk yourself through it. I'm not going to talk you through it again, just for the sake of hearing my voice. Nice and slow. And then hold, come up off the knees, pull your hips up and back, and take it to down dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. As you exhale, let the upper body just fold down. Nice. Now, enjoy. Couple seconds. As you inhale now, extend to a flat back. Palms come to the shin. Straighten out the legs. Draw the weight back. Get that weight bearing to the heels. As I push my palms to the shin, I'm making sure my elbows are not rotating internally. I'm going to try the exact opposite. I'm going to try to rotate the elbows away from the body. As I push and extend the spine, I'm kind of tabletopping my back. Now, here's where we go to work. As the knees bend, the shoulders rise. So we have a squat-like position, palms planted on the shins, palms pushing to the shins, chest is crowding out. I'm going to try to get down a little deeper and then release the hands, extend the arms forward, stand tall. Sweep to the sky. Lower hands shoulder height, butt goes down. Coming back up slowly. Reaching for the sky, progressing the movement. As you lower the shoulders, sorry, hand shoulder height, I like you to try to push the heels out and away from the body as the hips come down. You're going to feel those outside or lateral or side body hip muscles firing up, reaching for the sky as you inhale. Exhale, hand shoulder height. Take it down. Push those heels out as you lower. See if you can get a little lower. Push them out as you rise back up. Hands sweep to the sky. Take it down one more time. Heels, push, 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 push. Lower, 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 and hold. Now, change this. Pull the legs together, rise up.
That's easier.
Sweep to the sky. Yes, because it's easier, Kirsten says. That's because we're used to doing this, right? Rising up, sweeping to the sky. Keep this like chopsticks, pull together. Come on down. Like chopsticks as you rise. Chopsticks like you lower. Hold. Neutralize the left and right. Just like a regular squat now. No push. Out. No pull in. Hold. Bounce. See if the bounce can help you get a little deeper. Take it low as you can. Rise up. Hands to the sky. Powerful. Exhale. Fold it down. Take it down to the mat. Excuse me. Down for the 8 counts. Now, when you arrive on the mat, you're going to be lying all the way down. Going to do some stretching now. Again, this is also involving our thoracic spine, spinal mobility. I'm going to cross right over left. And I'm going to try and keep my knees as close together as possible. I'm going to use my right leg to pull my left leg towards the right side of the body. So literally my left foot is like a hinge for that left leg. Now I'm going to float the knee just an inch or two above the earth, which means I've got a pretty severe or pretty good level of rotation through that pelvic girdle. And I can feel on my right side, I'm kind of on the side body muscles. If you're on that joint, the hip joint and knee padding, put it down there. Now take your left hand, reach to the sky, and here we go with thoracic mobility. We're going to take the left hand, sweep it backwards as we open through that shoulder. We're going to feel the side body begin to lengthen and pull out. And then we're going to rotate that left shoulder towards the mat as we actively work the right leg, pull the left leg towards the mat. We have that spinal rotation, in particular through our thoracic or upper spine. Feel a nice release of all of that musculature along the side bodies as we work those rotators, stabilizing muscles of the spinal column. And then on the next breath, as you release it, bring that left hand up, roll that hip back over, reposition, opposite side. It's such a great stretch. It does so much for us. And it's actually more of an active stretch. Now, as we begin the descent, same thing. Pulling with left, rolling onto that left side, right arm, reaching high to the sky. Begin to enjoy that lengthening. Then as we add to it, as we progress this, the right arm sweeps back towards the ear. Then we have that nice opportunity to feel the length. And then while that arm continues to reach back, I'd like you to rotate the right shoulder towards the mat. We have 2 points that'll never get to their final destination. The right shoulder and the right knee. So we have them floating above the earth, right? Or correct? Now, roll back up onto your backside. Take the left leg, release it down.
Extend the left leg all the way out. Take the right leg and push it up to the sky. And then take your right leg, sweep it across the body. And if you can, bring it all the way down to the earth. Nice. Now, take your right hand, reach it up to the sky. And if you're like me, on the left side body, and now I'm going to rotate my right shoulder, pulling that right arm nice and long, not bending through the elbow. A nice pull and length. Oh my goodness, does that ever feel good? Taking a couple breaths. You might notice with the breathing, making the depth breath is important for the calmness of the body and mind. So if you're just breathing into your lungs, try to extend the breath all the way down to your belly. Try to get a little more range of motion there. And then take that right arm, reach it back up to the sky. Take the right leg, sweep it back up. When you arrive on your backside, extend the right leg all the way out. And extend the left leg all the way up. And then take that left leg and sweep it across. Oops, I have to reposition here. Let's reach that left hand to the sky. And then begin to rotate through the spinal column, rowing that left arm long, almost like you could imagine there's $1 million prize just beyond the fingertips. And you're just trying to get that extra little bit to get to it. Remember, breathe into your belly. When you're ready, left hand returns back up to the sky. Left leg, lift it up, sweep it back, lower that left leg. Let's reposition by pulling the right leg in. And then let's take a little break here. Gonna take your right head, the right side of your head, and roll it onto the mat. And then come back up, nose points to the sky, and the nose goes with the opposite side. So, a little bit of neck mobility to add into the thoracic mobility.
That's good. Do more neck.
Do more neck. Slowly rotating the head side to side. Sometimes this gives people a little bit of dizziness. If they find that's the same way for you, honor your body. Just do it slower or don't do it at all. Okay, so let's position facing up to the sky. Take your shoulder blades and broaden them out. Take your tailbone and try to pull it up off the earth. So now you've got a nice six-pack engagement. Again, I always use that analogy, or I often use it, of dropping a bowling ball on your belly. Give me some of that. Protect it. Make it bounce. You know, if that thing hits it, I want it to bounce, feet into the air. Nice strong contraction of the six-pack muscle, but no tension in the neck or anywhere else in the body. So as you keep that now, with the feet hip-width apart, I'd like you to try to peel up each vertebrae from the low back into the middle back and see if you can get a little higher. You're going to get a bigger gluteal activation here while we're working the flexion of that thoracic spine. And I'd like you to keep that strong six-pack engagement as you place each vertebrae of the upper, middle, and then lower back down on your mat. And then you're going to feel your tailbone eventually touch those gluteals. You're going to relax out a little bit. Now, when you come back to this, we're going to start to tuck the pubis, pulling up and into the belly button. We're going to start to peel one vertebrae at a time, pulling in towards the upper body, the bottom. Feel the elevation as we begin to push high, try to keep the spine flexing. And then place each and every vertebrae along the spinal column back on your mat. Beautiful. And then one more time. Here we go. Tuck. Heel.
Or your heels.
Push through your heels to create the elevation. Riding high to the sky is not necessarily just the push of the heels, though. It's that nice activation of the six-pack muscle as you peel vertebrae by vertebrae. Let's take it back to the earth, place one down, place the next, so on and so forth. All right, extend the legs all the way out. Take the hands above the head, toes point, fingers point, opposite, pull, lengthen it all the way up. Fill those lungs, enjoy that breath. As you exhale it, let the arms just kind of fall down beside you. Let the feet open wide. Then roll the feet so the toes roll in towards each other. Roll it back out. We're almost done, I promise. So just some hip, rotational, internal and external, those small muscles that we've worked today. A little bit of a break. And then when you're ready, hands come over hearts. Come up Pilates style.
Nice. Now, keeping hands over hearts, fill the lungs, grow the spine. Let me stare into your faces as I say, thank you for coming today. Thank you for joining. Namaste.
Namaste. I thought.
Bye.